Good morning. Live from Los Angeles, we come together to know the truth, live on spiritual principle, and align with universal law. Today, I want to talk about how I made 40K in 14 days in quarantine, making a difference in the world. This is the deal. Expecting to thrive in crisis takes delivering value that helps other people thrive in crisis. People want to work with and buy from people they feel will solve their problems and will help them thrive. So if you don't want to learn how to professionally thrive and financially thrive, then you're not going to attract the clients that will desire that. They will find somebody else. So I'm so excited today, you guys, because this is the deal. Yes, I did 40K in 14 days in quarantine, making a difference. And this is the deal. It is important to thrive. It's not about the money per se, it's about thriving. And I truly believe that if we want to thrive, we need to master our mindset, we need to master our skill set, and this is my mission in life. My mission is to help the people that are based in spiritual principles take it to the world in all their different expressions, whether they are creating products that help bring truth to the world, whether they are coaches bringing truth to the world, whether they are ministers, whether they are real estate agents, because we have some of those too that like to live on spiritual principle. This is the truth, is that I truly believe that the world needs truth. Truth heals. Truth helps people inside know the truth of who they are, heal their traumas, heal their life, heal all of it so that they can be the best version and sustain and maintain and deal with the stress that happens in financial crisis, that happens in quarantine, that happens in lockdown, that happens when people get sick, that it is important for us to live our truth. So how did I make 40K in 14 days in quarantine, making a difference in the world? I'm going to break that on down for you. Okay, you guys, big hugs out there for everyone. If you are on here, it is because we have decided, and it is not out of some cheesy sales thing, that we are extending the Soul Society Leadership Program at the discounted rate for 24 hours. And there's a reason for it. And it's not because I'm trying to be cheesy or anything like that in some sales thing. It's because I get that right now, more than ever, the world needs truth. And I had to pray on this. I had to meditate on this. I had to get right in my own soul because I didn't want to be some cheesy salesperson. I am clear that this is the most important time for us to do the work and to get the work out there. And I know that not everybody can afford the full price of $5,000, that right now at $997, it is doable for a lot of people. And this is so important. And we also had so many questions that we're not being able to answer. We had DMs, we had emails, we had all kinds of things that I personally was not able to get to. And so those people were not able to get their answers, their questions answered. So that's what we're going to do today, okay? So I wanted to talk to you about what I did, okay? So I actually did a podcast on this on yesterday, Sunday. And it is super important to recognize that what happened was when the quarantine began and the lockdown began and COVID-19 came along, we just cared about people. That's all we cared about. We cared about people thriving. We cared about, how we can support and whatever. So we launched what was called the Inner Circle. We literally began to go, how can we serve? How can we help people with their stress? And we launched this free community called the Inner Circle because we just care. We just want to serve. That's really what we're here to do, okay? So what was the Inner Circle? The Inner Circle was basically a place to have support and all that. And over the course of the first couple weeks in quarantine, we had something like 600 people. I think there's over 1,000 people now in Inner Circle. But what happened is a girlfriend of mine actually asked, she goes, why aren't you offering your courses? People need your work more than ever. And I'm like, you're right. So basically I went out, and as we train in Soul Society, and anytime we're developing our products or pricing, we basically look at the industry. That's what we do. There's huge companies that spend a lot of money on market research. They spend a lot of money on advertising, and they do the research for you, okay? So what you do is you go out in the industry and you take a look at what is going on. What are people pricing their products at? What are their discounted rates? What's going on? So it takes about an hour. I'm so good at it because I've done it for years now, right? So what happens is you go out and you take a look at what's going on, and the average kind of company or big coach out there was discounting it about 80% all of their products. So bingo, ding, 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 that's what we need to do. So we put it out at the Soul Society leadership is normally, $5,000. We discounted 80% for the $997. But what matters is this, is that there is a truth to the universe. There's a truth to all this work, and it is this, is that business development is spiritual development. There is not a difference in it. And so it's not about making money during this time. Yes, it is important. Money's important. Money is, if you believe everything is divine, everything is God, then you understand money is an exchange of energy. But when you're working for the highest good, business takes on a completely different level. So I began to launch it out as that, and with 0 ads and with 0 team, because my team in Philippines, their internet literally is done. They literally can't go out of their house to pay their internet bill. So they cannot even work right now. So I was all alone. I'm in my house and I'm going, how can I serve and how can I help? Because I've been there, you guys. I went through 2008. I remember what it was like. I almost lost everything to my name. I literally was scared to death. I didn't know what to do. I was scared. And since that time, of course, I had been doing this work already, but my mindset got stronger and stronger. And I know that there is strategy behind this. Yes. There is strategy behind all this. And so as I got through all those things, I came from nothing, you guys. I came from, I waited tables when I was young. I had not a dime to my name. I had built up and built up and built up the mindset, doing my inner healing, all that stuff. And getting to this place in time where the crisis came along this time, and I didn't have one day of fear. I haven't had one day of getting off of spiritual principle. I haven't had one day, and I thought, you know what? There's a huge gap between who I was and who I am now. I've got to deliver this to the world as fast as possible. And what we were teaching is pivoting, creating, reinventing over and over. That's what we do. We've got to, life is not stagnant. Life is motion. And so we have to pivot and move as fast as possible. So what I did is I basically began to, I redid the actual page for Soul Society leadership. So you have to do the technology, get all your ducks in a row, put your offerings out there. And then it was basically, we just did it through Instagram and through Facebook stories. That's it. Did lives and kind of spoke about it at the very end of it. But over 14 days, we had 0 ads, 0 team, and did 40K in 14 days. So this is what I want to teach my peeps, because if you're on this here right now, you have found me because you are somebody, you're a seeker. You desire truth. You know that it is more important. Like you have to understand, right now is when you decide to thrive. Not a year from now, not when all times are great. It's in these dark moments, it's in these times when it's hard that you have to make a powerful decision. And that's what we do in Society. We have 4 primary principles we live by, which is number 1, deciding and committing to waking up, deciding and committing to thriving. I want you guys to say that. Put in the chat, yes. If you're here, if you are in your own mind saying yes to yourself, saying yes to your dreams, saying yes to thriving, because again, remember this, expecting to thrive in times of crisis takes delivering values that helps people thrive in crisis, right? So people want to work with and buy from people who they feel can solve their problem and who they feel like will help them thrive in life. So if you don't learn how to thrive personally, professionally, in your finances, in your health, and your wealth, and all the above, you won't attract clients who desire to thrive. They'll find somebody else, okay? My mission is to awaken 1 billion people, and how I decide, and I know for sure I will deliver upon that mission, is by developing world-renowned spiritual leaders, world-renowned spiritual coaches, and also people who have businesses that want to bring spiritual principles into their business. We have all types of people. We have real estate agents that are bringing their spiritual principles into their business because they know if they don't bring those spiritual principles in, they will not thrive, okay? We have coaches. We have people that have products. We have people that deliver different products, like Dana, who delivers a $7 million industry helping products and doing sunglasses and things like that, but she delivers to nonprofits that she believes in. Okay, this is my mission. My mission is for you to thrive. And this is not some cheesy sales thing. This is real life, and this is what matters, because I know there's starving people out there right now. There's people who cannot pay their bills. There's people who literally are dying. And this is not some cheesy sales thing. This is about us freaking thriving, okay? Yes, we're opening up Soulciety Leadership for 24 more hours. Yes, yes, yes. It is straight out of heart. It is straight out of knowing that the world needs truth. So what is the first step in thriving? The first step in thriving is what we teach in Soulciety Leadership, which is spiritual mastery. Spiritual mastery. If you don't have spiritual mastery, you don't have a business. If you don't have spiritual mastery, you cannot thrive in your personal and professional life. I promise you, it is the most important thing. So what do? In spiritual leadership, we take you through what is called the Truth Triangle. It's based on metaphysics as a doctor of divinity, as a New Thought minister, as a spiritual practitioner, as all those things. I have developed 25 years I've been doing this, you guys. 25 years. I went from zero to a self-made millionaire. I am a mother. I am an international author, best-selling author. I am a founder of Good Morning Lawland, Soulciety, all the above. I understand that if I didn't do my inner work, none of this would be possible. That's why I'm so committed to this work, because without this work, I would not have anything that I have, okay? So the Truth Triangle, what happens in the Truth Triangle? We birth your truth. We birth your purpose, restore your power, your passion, and your purpose. It is done through a 12-week step-by-step process of going through restoring your power. We do that through what's called the E4 trauma method. We do that through releasing the limited beliefs, the limited identity, and restoring the power that you are. You are a divine spiritual being. That's the truth of who you are, okay? We take you into birthing your passions, which means that you get clear of what your core values are, what really matters to you. Where do you put boundaries and things so that you can thrive no matter what? We do not place our power outside. How do you thrive in the middle of a pandemic? How do you thrive in the middle of a crisis? How do you thrive in the middle of all this? You've got to get clear of who you are and know your core values and your core principles, which have to be spiritually based, okay? The third thing is we birth your purpose. Your purpose is birthed through overcoming all the trials and tribulations. So it's your triumph plus your skill set plus your passions. That's the formula for birthing your purpose. Okay, so mastering your spiritual mastery is the number one thing that we teach in Soulciety Leadership. The second thing that we teach is business mastery. Business mastery is imperative. Business mastery is everything, but discovering your purpose, you can't even know what your business is. I see the biggest thing that I see why people have that midlife crisis, why they have businesses, but they just can't quite, they still feel unfulfilled. Why do they feel like they have all this money, but then something's still missing? It's because they haven't birthed their purpose through doing this spiritual work. And once you birth that purpose, then we get into what is called the 8 pillars of business. The 8 pillars of business takes you through the 8 pillars of business, and it's something that never ends. Whether you're a startup, whether you only have an idea, whether you are a large business, 8 pillars of business is the same thing over and over again. I do it every single quarter. So number one is we teach you how to birth your expertise. What is your expertise? What's your mission? What's your why? Who is your ideal client? And taking that into leveraging yourself as the expertise. That means that, of course, getting on people's podcasts, learning how to give talks in that area, getting developed. This is where the skill set comes in. What makes you that expert? Maybe it's getting a certification through Soulciety. Maybe it's whatever it is. How do you become the expert in your genre? Okay. The second 2 pillar of business is your product and pricing. And product and pricing is super important because we don't teach people to do big memberships or courses. We teach them always the gradient, which means that the pricing should always be one-on-ones first, because you've got to master your ability to transform people's lives. You got to master. You don't start with a whole collection. If you're doing products, you start with one product, one core thing, and we teach this gradient, okay? So your product products and pricing, I'm going to teach you how to research your industry, how to create your product, how to understand how to price it, and how to change the pricing according to the market, like we've done with Soul Society Leadership, right? The third part of business 8 pillars is your platform and technology. We do not want you to start with all the technology in the world. It's important to start again on a gradient. So I'm going to teach you how to start with the core technology, because technology is like learning Japanese times 1,000. You can go on and on forever. You do not want to have all the platforms. I do not recommend having a show, doing a podcast, having that book, doing all of it when you haven't mastered actually having transformation for one client. So I'm going to teach you how to get your platform in really clear, what it is, and have a gradient around it, okay? Step number 4 of the 4 pillars is marketing. What is marketing? We're going to get you all into it. We go through primal branding, getting clear of what your colors are, getting clear what your messaging is, getting clear of your fonts, getting clear of how that branding's going out. What is it like? What are people experiencing on the other side? Okay, marketing is a way of life. It is really a way of life, okay? Number 5 is sales. And sales, so many things. Look, the reality is this. I was talking with a dear girlfriend yesterday who is a 7-figure coach as well. And she was like, look, we spend so much time in sales. Sometimes we feel like we're not even a spiritual leader or whatever, right? It's like sometimes we feel like we're just sales. Sales is service. We have to transform and recognize that sales is when we're doing service. Sales is not some cheesy thing. Sales is really about getting in that mindset of serving. So when I don't want to do sales, when I don't want to do it, I just have to think, this is not about me. This is about getting people committed to their dreams, getting them committed to heal themselves so they're healing their family and everything else, okay? Service, sales, and we're going to teach you how to transform and the actual process of sales to have it change from getting something to giving something, to having people commit to themselves. And how do you do that in a way that is a formula that has been developed? Tony Robbins says this: if you want to achieve success, all you need to do is find a way to model those who have already succeeded, okay? So you can do all this on your own, but the truth is you should find somebody that is in alignment with you, okay? There's many coaches, there's many programs, have at it. What I recommend is finding somebody that really lives the work that you want to live. If it's an author that is a particular novelist and you want to be a novelist, you may want to find that person. If you are, whatever it may be, you might want to find that person that's in your industry that is mastering that industry, okay? I tend to draw in, and the people that love Soul Society and that are in Soul Society are people who really love spirituality, and they know that that's what I embody and that's what I teach along with business, okay? So next is the 6th pillar of business. The 6th pillar is organization. There's a reason why business is called an organization. It's because you have to get freaking organized, okay? So I'm going to take you step by step around how to get organized. We have a very specific thing, how we goal set, how we organize documents in Google Drive or whatever, how you get organized with onboarding clients, how you get organized in delegating to your team, how you get organized in all this. It is imperative to go through all this, okay? And then number 7 is legality. Obviously, I cannot give legal advice, but I go through specific things. I use Bench for my bookkeeping. I use LegalZoom, or I have a personal lawyer as well for legality. But it's important to know what are you going to be? Are you going to be an LLC? Are you going to be a C Corp? Are you going to be an S Corp? How are you going to do your taxes? How are you going to do your books? When do you do accounting and things like that? So let's get organized around your legality and financials and everything, okay? And then step number 8 of the 8 pillars of business is partnerships and collaboration. And this is where we really take a 10-time leap, quantum leap in our business, is that we understand that it's important to collaborate. If you look at the great influencers online, it's because they're collaborating spiritually. We are meant to come together so that we can have synergy and multiply abundantly, okay? So I just want to talk to you a little bit about universal law, because as you guys know, what we're really teaching is We're teaching metaphysics. I'm trained in what is called science of mind. I'm a science of mind minister. I teach universal law and I teach the metaphysics. And what we teach basically is that you are the creative factor. You are one with the individual consciousness, the collective consciousness, and the cosmic consciousness. The true I am. You are spirit. You are that creative force, okay? And it basically goes down into what we consider your individual use of the law, which is like the subconscious and the subjective mind. I teach a lot of science. I teach quantum physics and neuroscience and biology, teaching and recognizing that we truly have the power to influence our genes. Our genes are set as they are, but we have the influence to actually read them or not read them, depending on how expanded our perception is, our consciousness. And as we align with our truth, as we align with universal law, as we align with thriving, we're able to do mental cure. We're actually able to influence our health. We're able to influence our stress, obviously, which influences every aspect of our ability to heal thy body. We're able to turn on our ability to have greater relationships because of how we're perceiving things. We're greater to turn on our prosperity. So it's important to understand that we are the masters of ourselves. We are the masters of how our genes get read. We are the masters of what we decide of how we're going to express ourselves. So again, how did I make 40K in 14 days in quarantine, making a difference in the world? Only one thing. The one thing came down to this: commitment. Commitment to living my truth. That's what had me live and breathe and have a life that I love. And that is how I made 40K in 14 days. It came down to one thing and one thing only, and it's commitment. And so my invitation for you is for you to commit. Whether you commit to me in society, or whether you commit to yourself and take another course with somebody else, or whether you decide to go figure it out for yourself on Google. This is the deal. It all comes down to commitment. And I would suggest today that I would use the frustration, I would use the fear that you're going through, I would use whatever is there for you to say, I am done. I'm done living a life where I'm not thriving. I want to be able to handle any crisis. I want to be able to handle any pandemic. I want to be able to handle any lockdown. And I know that no matter what, I get to thrive no matter what. Because again, expecting to thrive in crisis takes delivering value that helps other people thrive in crisis. People want to work and buy from people who they feel will solve their problems and will help them thrive even in times of crisis, okay? So if you don't want to learn and you don't commit to thriving personally and professionally, I promise you, you will not have people coming to you to have you teach them how to thrive in crisis. They will find somebody else, okay? So whether you are delivering a product to the world that you want to help them thrive, whether you want to become a spiritual coach and thrive and help other people thrive, no matter what it is a decision. It is a powerful decision in mind, and the decision is yours. And the truth is, time is of essence. So I want to get into some questions and answers for people, because the reason why we've chosen with a lot of thinking to extend the Soul Society leadership for 24 hours is because we had so many questions that came in. We had so many questions that were not able to be, I didn't have time to answer everything, okay? So I want to get into a few of those real quick, just for 5 minutes, okay? So the 12-week step-by-step program for spiritual and business mastery. People have asked kind of what is included in that. You can go to the page, which I'm going to put in the link here. It says everything that's included is a 12-week step-by-step process that takes you through the truth triangle, takes you through the E4 trauma method, helps you birth your purpose and calling. And then it takes you through the 8 pillars of business, which is what we just went over, all those things. And you are with me 2 times a week, 1 call for spiritual mastery and 1 call for business mastery. Okay, so everything's on that page, all of it, everything's there. Okay, all the bonuses, everything. You also get 12 weeks of mastermind, which is really amazing program. Okay. So the next question is how to launch and scale your spiritual business online. A lot of people ask, will it work if I'm in real estate? Will it work if I have a product? Will it work if I don't even have a business yet? Will it work? And so on and so forth. The way the program is designed is it's designed to be able to come in at any point in time, because what happens is it's not just 12 weeks, it's lifetime access. And we go through the same 12 programs each quarter, because I'm going to train you as being the CEO of your personal and professional life. Okay. So it doesn't matter if you come in at week 5 of Q2 or whatever we're at. It repeats. So the 12 weeks, yes, you can come back. It's lifetime access for all of it. So I would recommend getting in now, because the time is of such essence. The online world, everybody is having to do their business online, and it's really super important that you get in understanding business online, because look, ads online are going to get more expensive. It's going to get more crowded. It's really important that you master this right now. And I really, truly believe that. Okay. The next question, and final, there's so many questions, and I'm going to answer those more over here. But this next question is, time is of essence. Okay, so people ask a few things. One is, can men join the program? Absolutely. We have men and women. We only have a few men. We have a lot of women, okay? Also, a few other questions is, what happens once you sign up? So once you sign up, there's actual process. You will join a Facebook group. You will have your member site. You will have all the call links for Zoom, and there is a VIP welcome and overview call as well. So don't get overwhelmed. There's a lot in there. Yes, there is a 30-day money back guarantee. As long as you give yourself 100% to the program, we will give 100% back if it doesn't work out for you. Okay. So this is the deal, is that you just got to go at somewhere of not knowing every single detail of everything. I truly believe and know for sure that your birthright is prosperity and to thrive financially and personally. Business development is spiritual development. And so on that note, let's do a quick prayer. And I recognize that if you are seeing this, whether you're on the live, whether you are on the actual leadership page right now, because we'll be actually putting this video on there, that we open it up for 24 more hours for you to have your answers, your questions answered. So feel free to DM me. My phone number also, and text also should be on here, and you can ask us all kinds of questions, whatever's there, so that you can make an educated decision for you. But this is the deal, is that the time for anything in life is always now, you guys. So just know that this $997 will go back up to the $5,000 after this quarantine and everything, because it is a special time, and this special time deserves special pricing. And then of course it goes back. This program is worth probably $40,000. I personally am $40,000 to work one-on-one. And if you take a look at the comparables of other programs out there, you'll find that there isn't anybody doing spiritual work and all the business and technology. I've researched it. There's lots of programs that have great spiritual programs. There's lots of them that are about $27,000, $18,000 to $27,000 between different programs. I think Centers for Spiritual Living and Santa Monica College. There's many people teaching business. Most people teaching business that come and teach twice a week are in the $25,000 to $40,000 range. So you really have to just do your research. You got 24 hours, you can figure it out. I just know the truth of who you are, and you deserve to know that you deserve everything. So how I did 40K in 14 days in quarantine, making a difference in the world. How I did it was one thing and one thing only. I committed to thriving personal and professional and living my truth. And that's taken me years and years and years to develop, which you can learn from me and do it 10 times faster. Okay, so let's know the truth together. Taking a deep breath into the nose and exhaling out. Inhaling one more time through the nose and exhaling out. And I just recognize right here and right now that is your birthright to thrive. And I know that if you expect to thrive in crisis, you have to be able to deliver value that helps others thrive in business. I recognize right here and right now that life is a mirror of what's going on within. And if you desire to have clients and thrive in your business and personal financial life, you have to give that back. You have to give out value. You have to be thriving. You have to live thriving. You have to know thriving. And so I recognize right here the power that be, that truth is what the world needs. I recognize that truth is what sets us free. Truth is what heals us. Truth is what helps us claim our birthright of prosperity. Truth is what helps us innovate in times, no matter what the situation is. I recognize right now the power that be, the power that I am, and the power that you are. I recognize that thriving is our right. It is not only a right, it is time for truth to be known in and out of everything, everywhere, all time. I simply know you are the power. You have always been the power, and you will always be the power. I simply know this in my mind, my heart, as together we say, and so it is. Okay, guys, we will also be doing a free training and webinar to answer more questions on Soulciety leadership. It should be on the page if you're on the page right now in Soulciety, on there as well. Have a beautiful day, you guys, and I look forward to seeing you in the backside of Soulciety leadership. Let's do this thing. It's time to take a quantum leap. Have a beautiful day, and may you know the truth.